welcome to our next playthrough. This is Wartales. Wartales is a turn-based tactics game. It's another mercenary management game. Think the likes of BattleTech. It's one of those games that sort of, I can't remember what it's called, but it's another one of those ones that, generally speaking, they trace their lineage back to a game from the sort of early 90s where you played as a mercenary company in the HRE. It's very similar to Battle Brothers these days, in the sense that you have a mercenary company, walk around, get contracts, do things. You're moving around a world map, as opposed to something like BattleTech, where you're sort of going from system to system. Same basic idea, but there's more interactivity here, as you'll see shortly. Aside from that, unlike something like unlike something like Battle Brothers, in this you also have professions and sort of camp skills. So it's a bit more sort of D&D's RPG-esque, I suppose, in that sense. But we'll show you some of that as we get going. I think it came out about a year ago. It does have some DLC, and they are updating it regularly. That's not the option I wanted. I have bought the 2 DLC recently. My understanding is this one doesn't necessarily blend that well with the game based on the reviews, but sort of its own thing. This one does blend, but doesn't really add anything to the base game. It's really just its own thing, but gives you sort of passive income, and arguably makes the game easier. We're going to be playing with both and see how they go. I have played the first region. So the map is sort of laid into different regions. Each region will have a sort of story arc in which the player can influence with your mercenary company. I have played the first one. I had originally decided, no, I'll stop here and play it again when the game releases, because I bought it in early access. Never really got back into it, so the hope essentially is by recording it and doing it as a playthrough, I'm going to get the compulsion to keep playing it. It's not a, that's not a it's not saying anything about the game. It is some of the fact that I had wanted to wait until it was fully released to continue playing, but then hadn't got back into it, which is a problem I find I get with early access games in particular. And one of the better examples of that actually being Battlefield Gothic, where I played the crap out of it the few weeks it had pre-release, and then the actual release game took me quite a while to actually properly do a playthrough of. We may end up doing a playthrough of Battlefield Gothic. More likely Battlefield Gothic 2 at some point, because it's more engaging campaign. But that is a tale for a different day. For now, we'll go Wartales. So we're going to hit the new game, not hit continue. This is the second time I've tried to do the spiel, and I accidentally hit continue to forget one of my previous games. You'll see here, actually, early access, and you can also play this game co-op, which we may end up playing some of at some point down the road, but we'll worry about that another day. For now, new game. Okay, so so in effect, we basically have a background. Why is this got its own thing? Right, so we've got apprentice friends looking for an adventure. So influence is sort of one of the currencies we have in the game. You basically have money and you have influence, and doing stuff gathers you influence. Apprentice friends looking for an adventure. Raw materials are used to repair armor and that sort of thing. And we also sort of get a baseline for what gear it thinks the sort of starting companions would have, right? So these are classes. So swordsman, ranger, archer, and brute. Men escorting merchants who lost their employer. we'd have additional money. We'd loot some medicine. We'd have swordsman, a warrior, a spearman, and a brute. Deserters fleeing, an abusive captain. Raw materials -10. Suspicion. Suspicion is basically your wanted meter. Hello, PDA. So again, if you go around and being a wrong'un, because again, being a mercenary, you can also be a bandit. Suspicion sort of ticks down. I think it has levels, basically wanted stars for like a description. I think there might be some where if you get to a certain threshold, you can't. It won't passively decline. Could be wrong on that, but I think I never really explored it that much. Yeah, if you're wrong, you build suspicion. Swordsman, warrior, archer, ranger. Young farmers looking for a better life. Bread, food, happiness. Happiness essentially is your morale. Funny enough. Bandits looking to escape the guard. Get 2 stolen braised chickens and 6 stolen cloth. I remembered these being more aggressively penalizing. Shipwreck pirate crew, wood +10, fatigue -50. Side companions, pugilist, warrior, ranger, archer. Okay, so I think these two are new based on the DLC. We'll not worry about these two. So what I think we're going to do for now... Medicine's used to heal. This one will probably internalize quite quickly. Raw materials is also quite useful. Again, they're just things you buy that you're sort of having to use passively. Again, like their equivalents in Battle Brothers, if you played those. I believe we can also change the things. I'm not going to go with the young farmers because happiness -2 for the entire campaign strikes as being more irritating than useful. Not necessarily interested in that either. Sort of lean towards deserters being an abusive captain at this point. I think suspicion will decay. Okay, back we'll do it. So we got a swordsman, warrior, archer, ranger. Your companions are used to long walks, cunning fighters. Show incredible resilience. Constitution increased by 10%. Are excellent at slap games. I think we might go with a used to long walk. Metaphor would be you want to go with eternal satisfaction. It's just -1 happiness each during each rest, right? We already mitigated the -2, so that's fine. Cool. Now, adaptive exploration difficulty for all regions adapts dynamically to your group size and the unit's power. The game will always offer a challenge suited to your troop or region locked exploration. Each region of the world has set difficulty from the start. You will have to expand and improve your troop before you can explore more dangerous areas and fight more powerful enemies. Normally, I would be leaning towards this one. So to play it more like an MMO, I suppose. But I think we may go with adaptive exploration. Go adaptive. Yeah. Starting region. So the nice thing with this is that starting region can be changed. So effectively, again, you got different counties, different areas, and each of them have their own stories. Before, if you as you unlock new areas, you will actually be able to start in those areas. But in this case, it's just defaulting me to the original, which is fine, which is what we wanted. We're gonna go with experienced. Survival difficulty, we're gonna go experience. I'm not going to be an expert at this. Save mode, we're gonna go with gonna go with the limited just in case it crashes. We are going to be trying to play this as an Iron Man game. In principle. So we're going to go next. Save game. Recording 1. Okie dokie. Okay, now we get to do a character customization. So, we have a swordsman named Frit. So, for every character, we have a name. We are probably going to take some time to name people. We can change their appearance, their face, skin tone, hair, etc. They are a class as such. So if we would go... So what do we got? So we've got a warrior, we've got a swordsman, we've got an archer, we've got a ranger. Then we got our pony. So, for him, we're going to name him as goes Bloodfist. Let me have Bloodfist. Okay, whatever. Cool, and we're gonna go with face. We've got skin tone's fine here. It's fine. Actually, that's cool. Actually, for him, so we want the starting weapon, it's fine. Utility. We're gonna want taunt because he's gonna be our tank on it. And for traits, we can go. Let's go Constitution increased by 5%. Or says if I add more of these, I end up having to take negative traits. Yeah. We'll come back to that, but we've got Brawny for the minute. And close. Then we've got you. So you are a... we can mix it up. We can have a 1. Me. Oh, clothing color, whatever. Cool. You can have first aid, and we've got a bow. And futility traits, you can have. Bonus votes. That is absolutely the look we're looking for. It's amazing. Hair color. Oh, it's just perfect. Can we get a bold goatee in here? Yeah. I think I much prefer the derpy lookingness of the original. Yeah, no, you have to be left as you were. Clothing color. You can go purple, whatever. Right. So good. Right, so you got run. What was the other levers we have? I was depressed. Oh, and for you, my aggressive friend, where okay, so you're starting with a great axe. Okay, cool. So it's got the axe. And what are your two options? So you've got horn, we'll keep you with wrath. We'll go with strong because using a great weapon, and we'll go with need to go Constitution as well because he's going to be a backup tank basically. And we will. That. It's fine. Close. I'm tempted to give this guy end. We'll give him club-footed. Because ideally, probably not a good idea. Oh fuck it, we'll live with it. It's fine. Close. So, that I think is good. We'll name our pony nothing, because apparently there's no option to randomize it. I'll just leave the default pony. Basically, you can upgrade your ponies to fight. Which is something we may look at doing at some point, but for now, we're not going to worry about it. Cool. So that is our party. So we'll get started. Most of the names I use are nicked from games. So these ones come from a very, very old game, which is not dissimilar in concept to this, although very different. Enough is enough. After bearing that terrible, horrible captain's abuse for far too long, your companions can finally enjoy their well-deserved freedom. Although deserters are never a welcome sight. It is for their former colleagues or the locals who, be it for their former colleagues or the locals who regard them as traitors for some reason. They will need to keep their heads down while still making a living. So, suspicion, and we have a game mode, right? It's not going to be paused. We've got our companions. We expect they're all level 1. We've got our professions. So again, the class and your profession. Profession is you crafting or hunting or something like that, right? We have knowledge. So knowledge ability helps you learn new blueprints, patterns and recipes from the compendium. This is story or campaign, whatever. Each region has its own scenario, and you can follow its progress here. You haven't started the scenario for this region yet. Suspicion. High suspicion level will cause you to be sought by the guard, and you will have to pay for your crimes. Want level 0 to 5. Higher you want level, the more frequent the guard patrols will be. You're not currently wanted by the guard. Again, my understanding is this will eventually decay. It's fine. We inspect. So we've got our equipment. We did not have a profession. We can choose a couple by default. And each of these professions will give us a skill. It will give us a passive bonus as well as the other things it does, right? So the Tinkerer can learn recipes and craft and enhance camping gear at the camp workshop. We're going to want a Tinkerer. We don't want to be him though, because that's not very useful. And we see here, strong is, what constitution is, willpower, willpower is correct. Critical hit, funny enough. Movement, wages, consumption, so how much food they eat, and capacity. And traits here. When you level up, you'll see another. We've got our weapons. We've got a rusty gladius. Yes. Angler's rag. Parallel for a shield. That's the other. So we've got slice, which is just use my sword. We've got taunt, which is attack me. But we will learn professions as we explore, or rather, we'll discover professions as we explore. But it is a choice. And we've got our archer. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. What else is there to say at this point? Happiness. Happiness evolves over time. Influence. Your influence can be used to recruit new companions or perform certain actions. Valor points. use your valor points in combat to use certain skills. You'll regain some of these each time you rest. The game is very... It's have a massive impact on the game and how it works. Food tells us how much food we have and how many days of food we have last. And we also have our money. Okay. So I think in this case, our start give us this. What I did now. So inventory, we've got raw materials, we've got medicine, apples, and we have bread. Here's our map. So there's a county, which is where we currently are. Again, there's a story for this area, and as we tour on the map, we'll go the ones neighboring it. So we're roughly in the middle of our starting county. 29 locations. Sorry, yeah, 29 locations, 29 quests. It might be fights, a range of things. We probably won't be doing all of these before we move on. Compendium. So, the compendium does several things. So we can get sort of perks for our company. And we'll unlock some of these as we do things. We'll then have ones we need for, or unlocks we need for various skills as well. Skills as well. When it's turned to blueprints, it means these are recipes. We can make him with a lot of things. What's that to go through at the moment? Paths. So the path system, basically we get rewarded for playing certain ways, right? Yeah, and then we can spend that knowledge on things. Perks of memories. But again, we'll explain that as we go along. Cool. So with all that out of the way, we will do our first fight, I think, and then we will check a pause then. Right. We're also going to pick up berries and stuff because it can be used for alchemy and that sort of thing. Cool. So level 1, Hoodlum and Poacher. These again are enemy classes. You get told, it'll tell you the types of enemies, it won't necessarily the number of them. 20 comes like you haven't used yet in the round. So again, we have 5 people. There is an order of basically, there is an initial order, but we get to choose when people activate. It's not forced on you, which is nice. So if we wanted to, we could mob this guy if we wanted to. It's not going to be that useful. Now, if they haven't moved yet, we can also move them around. So we can go here. I want this guy to be the closest target for him. But what we're going to do... So, the top layer is the armor. This uses raw resources to repair, but effectively is sort of shield like Halo. The red is hit points, and that requires medicine to heal after a battle. So we're generally a lot healthier, but they generally have better armor than us. That guy does at least. Yeah, actually no, they generally have better armor than us. So what I'm gonna do, so you're going first. So we're gonna go here. I want this guy to basically be aware of us. Now, so valor points. So different abilities like taunt here need valor points to work. So if we don't know valor points, we can't taunt. So this guy can't actually do anything else in his turn because he doesn't have anything in melee range. In this unit's turn. And this guy being an off tank, we're going to run up and mob this guy. So we're going to... You see here he has airway, which we need to be careful of because you can friendly fire. Engage. When you perform a melee attack on a free enemy, you engage them. An engaged unit can only attack with their engaged opponent, and the higher chances you taking critical damage. Oh, sorry. There's a high chance of taking critical damage. Take advantage of this with your other units. And a engaged unit is exposing their back. Attack them from behind to get a bonus. So again, we've engaged this guy, so this guy is going to be able to run over and whack him. But Wrath, if we got this guy below 50% health, we'll be able to use Wrath to do more damage. Knockback. So you can knock people out of engagements. These guys are no longer locked to each other, so this guy would now be free to move around if you wanted to. It's inconvenience. Now this means when he attacks, he's going to attack us, which is, again, not necessarily that ideal. We couldn't disengage. But we're not going to bother. We sort of want this guy to be pinned, so we can use our archer. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. Find him. We're going here. Poison resistance does damage over time. Now, we want to again get this guy engaged because we do not want to be fighting about with the rest. So we've taunted him, so he has to attack us. I think so we can turn. We go here. We can finish this guy off. Now, galvanized. Basically, when when the battle's almost over, we galvanize basically to wrap it up. So we're just going to do more damage now. We could run over here and pile in, but in this case, that means we're going to get hit by him, which I'm not interested in doing. So we're going to hit here. He has no melee weapon, so he's just doing very little damage to us. We're going to run over here. Oh. Run over here, and we'll whack them all. So it's showing us the chance of friendly fire, which is not really what we want, but that's fine. I'm going to try and heal him, but I think we actually need to be in base to base, which is an oversight on my part. Let's move here. Let's try and heal you. I don't heal you. Oh, okay. It's not working how I thought it was, so it's fine. Oh, being annoying. So we got a damage dagger. dexterity, which causes poisoning. Which is great. We've got 2 examples of human remains. You can do cannibalism on this reserves. Seasoning, ingredients, subscription, and we have snow iris. So we're gonna go loot all. I think we can take these, but we're not going to. So we got exterior and we got influence. Here. And hit continue. And then gonna go inventory. And to go here. Interesting, he's only level up. The rangers I want to look at. And then we're gonna go here. We're gonna go. I don't think you can dual wield, can you? Yeah. So we've upgraded from a rusty shiv to our damage dagger, doing more damage. And you can see it gives us different skills. So in this case, we now can poison rather than shank. I just realized this actually has a second thing. In the sense that Zab does that much damage, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna run that anyway. So next up, we want to go here, and we can live. You're level 2. Yeah, okay, cool. That's 2 points. So we need to specialize a bit. So question becomes, we also basically have very Battle Brothers-esque living system. So we can either increase our critical damage chance, or we can do willpower. I think we're going to put a point into willpower because it's going to give us 2, which is going to increase that. Which makes sense to me. And then we've got options. So we've got Berserker, Strength +1, medium. That basically means we can wear medium armor. Rampage deals 3 to 4 damage to the target. Critical hit gains Fury. Executioner, in medium armor +1 strength, deals 3 damage to all units in the target area. Attacks 1 time for each unit in the target area. So basically AoE. Sentinel, Constitution +2, heavy armor, evasion. All engaged allies in the area gain riposte. So basically, we can become more tanky, or we can go with AoE or single target. I think we're going to go with Executioner, based because we're using a great axe. I stand by that. Because you are going to be our tank. Really? Yeah. Oh, well, I'm going to drop our first cut in here. So, again, this is Wartales. Join us next time for more